What's going on? Welcome to Final Points, and in Final Points, we will take things like subjects, moments from films and shows, even comic books and stories, or even artistry, actors, directors, or whatever themes, and just focus it into just that fine point, and focus on that and talk about that and go over those. Today's, which I guess you kind of get an example of what they'll end up looking like. Today's first one is A Bug's Life, the 1998 movie from Disney Pixar. I guess you could call it a classic. A lot of people like it. It has garnered attention more, mainly because of a specific moment, and we will be getting to that moment. That's kind of what we will be covering in this. And with A Bug's Life, you have a movie about ants. It's all about bugs. The main focus is ants. And there is one iconic line in A Bug's Life that comes up consistently. And it's with the grasshopper talking about power. But leading up to that, I think it's the moments leading up to it and then a moment that happens later need a little bit more focus on to see what's going on, like that whole picture of it. Even the second moment, which I think should be just as popular as that first moment. And what's happening is, in case you don't know, or if you don't remember, but Flick, our main protagonist of the story, in the beginning of the movie, he accidentally knocks over all of the feed for the grasshoppers that the ants were pulling. He actually knocks over all the feed for them and gets rid of it. The grasshoppers show up and they are pissed. They are hot about it because that was their food. That was the food that the ants would always pick for them. So they get pissed off, and in that moment they decide, the leader Hopper decides, hey, we'll be back at the end of harvest. So we're going to give you guys another shot to give us food again. But it needs to be twice as much. And in doing this, it gives the ants no time to find food for themselves. Gives them no time to find food for themselves. So they got to find all this food for the grasshoppers, which is still kind of wild to me. It's wild to me because I have been bitten by ants so many times, especially as a kid. And that shit hurts consistently. And I used to catch grasshoppers. Used to catch them. No fear of them at all. I didn't even have a fear of ants, but I knew that, like, hey, you do something wrong, ants are going to bite you. And that's not fun. So it's still kind of like wild to me to see that the grasshoppers are the villains. Only because of that dynamic in myself. I know somebody's going to explain why. But nonetheless, they go off, they leave, and then they create this issue of double food by the end of harvest, which again will leave the ants with nothing. And the ants are terrified of the grasshoppers. And when the grasshoppers go off, wherever they get to is someplace that's well off, someplace that is magnificent for them, that they're doing well. And that's where we get this line at, is where they're at a spot where everything is going great for them. And that's what starts it. What starts it is them all talking amongst themselves, and then gets brought up to Hopper. Why do we need to leave this place that we're at right now? Why do we need to leave and go back to the ants? We have more than enough food here. We're having a good time here. We're enjoying ourselves here. Why do we need to leave? And that's what leads into that famous line that we all know. This line.
They're puny!
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant.
There was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him. Yeah, it was just one ant. One ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boss, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this grain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one?
Are you kidding?
Well, how about this?
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
It's crazy to see it, because if you didn't quite catch it, he said it. And if you don't think about it too much, if you just let it go and be like, yeah, that's a cool and that's a deep line. But he understands power. Hopper understands power. And he understands the power. He created a power dynamic between them and the ants. Because like he said, there's more of them than there are of us. And we may be doing good here, but it's not about the food. It's about power. It's about power. He created a power dynamic between them, where they hold all the power, the grasshoppers, and not the ants, who the ants outnumber them. Which is crazy when you think about it. And it's crazy because it's perceived power. It's not real power. Even when they leave and go back, and then they start terrorizing the ants because the ants decided to fight back. They decided, they had this plan. We're going to fight back. We're going to try to trick them with a fake bird and everything. Doesn't work out for them quite at that moment. But it's perceived power. It's not real power that they're exerting over these people. It's not real to the fact that it's not, how do I say this the right way? It's perceived power because there's no strict realness to it. You get what I'm saying? They have power because you believe they have power. That's what it falls into. And that's what creates this next moment that I find extremely fascinating. And it's Flick. It's after their plan faltered and unfortunately Flick gets his ass beat. And then we have this moment.
So who is the weaker species? Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us.
We're a lot stronger than you say we are. And you know it, don't you?
Now, in this moment, we see Flick understand that power. He understands this the same exact power that Hopper understood or understands. And he realized it's perceived, it's not real. We have the power. Because he tells them, we don't need to be afraid of you. You need us more than we need you. He found that power dynamic, that perceived power, and took it away and gave the real power back to the people. He flipped that power dynamic back to what it should have been and what it is. Like he said, there's more of them than there is of the grasshoppers. And it's crazy. It's crazy that it took that moment to happen. Realistically, it looks like it took Flick to get his ass beat while trying to do something good to come across the understanding of that power. That it may look like they had everything. They may have been exerting a power over us, the ants, for quite some time. However, when he stopped and thought about it, and this seems to be the first time, and how things happen, he stopped and thought about it and realized, oh shit, they They don't have the power. We have the power. We're the ones who grab the food. We're the ones who do this and that. There's more of us than there is of them. That realization of Hopper's spirit when he wanted to exert power back on the island, telling the other grasshoppers it's about power. If they realize how many of them compared to us, then we're screwed. They realized it. And they fought back. And when they fought back, they won. They went against that perceived power and won. And that's one of these moments in this film, this movie, Bugs Life, where I think we always talk about that line from Hopper, where he goes off and does that, where if they realize the power that they had. But it's not, I don't ever really see the line from Flick talking about when he realized they have the power. And then they fought back. They fought back for their people. They fought back for themselves. And they were more than strong enough. And they outnumbered them vastly. So I just think that's an interesting concept. I think the one that gets out is very much important. That first line that we all know from it is very much important. But just as, if not more important, that needs to go together with it is when they realize their own power and they realize you need us more than we need you. We have the power. And that was dope. All right. If you see my videos before, you know the deal and you know the motto. Take it easy. Have a good one. Hey, if you're digging any of these videos, if you like any of these videos and you're having a fun time just enjoying, please like and I guess subscribe. Is that what people say? Is that what people say? Do that. Do that thing that you do. And until then, take it easy. Have a fun time.